So very good morning, good afternoon, good evening everyone. We are discussing about network pharmacology, and in earlier video we have discussed basics of network pharmacology, where you can use and what actually it is. And in last video we have discussed about urgency matrix, how we can present the network in urgency matrix, and also we have discussed about basic, what are the node, what are the edges, and how they are interconnected with each other. In these videos we are going to discuss about network properties. What are the main properties of the network properties. So under network properties, what we are going to discuss, one of the property is degree. There is a degree distribution. Degree distributions. Then there is a density. Then there is a clustering coefficients. Clustering coefficients. Then there is a diameters. Then there is a shortest path. And there is a centrality measures that we will discuss in next lectures. But today what we are going to discuss, what are the different properties of the networks and how we can calculate it. One is degree. You all might have heard about degree when we talk about network pharmacology. Then how degree is distributed, what is the density, how to calculate the density of the network, what is clustering coefficients, how we can calculate it, diameters and shortest path. So one by one we are going to discuss. First one is degree, right? So degree, degree when we talk about network, so degree is number of edges connected to a node. So number of edges, how many edges are connected with the node, that is the degree of that particular node. So for example, if I draw a small, simple network, but this is A, B, with C, then there is a D, there is a E, and it's connected with each other. So if you remember earlier I told you these A, B, C, D, E, these circles are the nodes, right? These circles are the nodes, or also we call it vertices or vertex, right? And the line connecting these nodes, we represent the lines, or we can call it edges, right? And if you remember I told you these network of many types. One of the type is depending upon the directions. If you are giving the directions, whether A is moving towards the B or B is C and then D, that we call directed graph. So if you look this graph is undirected graph, means there is no directions. So this is the undirected one. And for the undirected one, if you want to calculate the degree, so as I told you, degree is what? Degree is how many edges are connected to a particular node. So if you want to calculate the degree of, this is your nodes, and you want to calculate the degree of node A. So how much the degree of node A? So as I said, what is degree? Degree is the edges which is connected with a particular node. So A, you can see that this is the one edge, this is the second edge. So this is the degree of node A is 2, right? Degree of B is again 2. This is this one and this one, right? Degree of C is 1 and this one 2, again 2. Degree of D is 3. This is a 1, 2 and 3. So how many edges? With D node, there are 3 edges by which D nodes are connected with the other nodes. So the degree of D node is 3, right? And what is the degree of E node? E node degree is 1. Only one connections. E is connected with D only. So degree is only 1. So this is the degree, Degree is how many edges are connected with a particular node. So A is connected with 2 edges, B is connected with 2 edges. So its degree is 2, C node degree is 2, D node degree is 3, E node degree is 1. So if you want to calculate what is the total degree of this network, so it's very easy to calculate, right? So you have to do just the summation of all these degrees. So 2 plus 2, 4 plus 6 plus 9 plus 1, 10. So degree of this particular network is how much? Is 10, right? And if you want to calculate the average degree, so how you can calculate the average degree? Average degree is equal to 10 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 nodes are there. So average degree is 2, right? It's very easy to calculate, right? So again, what is degree? Degree is number of edges connected with the nodes. So in mathematical way, if you see that, it means there are two edges. So when we talk about undirected graph, so degree will be 2L divided by N. 2L linkages, how many linkages there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 multiplied 5, and how many nodes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a 10 by 5, and this is a 2. This is your average degree. So average degree for undirected graph is 2L divided by N. And what is the L? L is the lines which are connecting the nodes, or you can call it edges as well. So you can represent with L, or you can represent with the E as well. So 2E divided by N. N is the number of nodes. So 2 divided by 2 are there because this is the undirected graph. Why 2 is there? Because this is an undirected graph. This A can be moved to D, means D, it can be in this directions and it can be in backward direction as well. So that's why there is a 2L, right? So this is for the undirected graph, how you can calculate the degree. If there is a directed graph, so for the directed graph, your formula is line divided by N. Edges divided by number of node. That will be for the directed graph, right? So this is your degree. So directed graph, if you see what is directed graph, so for example I am giving the directions B, then C, then D, then E, then A. So this is the directed graph. So for directed graph, how to calculate the degree? Degree for the directed graph is how many edges are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 edges. How many nodes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So degree is 1. Degree of network is 1 in this case, right? So for the directed graph and undirected graph, for undirected graph it is 2L by N, right? For the undirected graph, means there is no direction, undirected graph, and for directed graph, this one, this is for the directed graph, right? So this is your degree, and in the directed graph, when we talk about directed graph, there are two types of degree, right? For example, this is A, B, C, and there is, for examples, okay, simple network we can talk about. This is E. So when we talk about degree of the A, this node A, and we talk about degree, so degree in the directed graph is of two types. One is in degree, another one is out degree. So there are two types, in degree and out degree. So what does it mean? If it calculates the degree of A in the directed graph, so what is the degree of A node? Degree of, this is your node A, and you want to calculate the degree. So Ka in a degree means which, this is the one directions which is going in towards A node, so that is 1, right? And how many out? Out is also 1. This is going from this node to this node. This is the out degree, 1. So how much total degree? 1 plus 1, that is a 2 degree. So total degree is 2 in the directed graph, but there is a in degree and out degree. So for example, there is one more connections here. and this is A, B, C, and this is D. So in this case, you know, in degree is your 1 only, but out degree will becomes 2, right? This will becomes 2 because the out degree is this one and this one as well, right? And in is only this one. So that is the when we talk about directed graph, we are talking about in degree and out degree. How many in degree and how many are the out degree? And by doing the summations, you will get to know about the total degree, right? Then second measure is degree distributions. Degree distributions. So how degree is distributed? So if you draw a graph between your degree and nodes, you will get the graph like histograms, right? There are some nodes in the network which have low degree. There are some node in the network which have high degree, right? Degree distributions, if you draw, for example, we are talking about this network A, B, then C, then D, and then it's connected with B. For example, this one. So if we calculate the degree, so node and degree. So A node has 1 degree, B node has 3 degree, C node has 2 degree, D node have 2 degree, right? So if we do the distributions of the degree, if we talk about frequency, so how many degree means how many nodes have 1 degree? This is only 1, right? How many nodes have 2 degree? There are 2. How many nodes have a 3 degree? 1. That is the frequency. And when you draw in a graph, in a histogram, you will find, okay, there are a 1 means node with 1 degree is 1. There is a node with 2 degrees 2, and node with 3 degrees again 1. So it will be represented like this. So these are degree distributions, and by the degree distributions you will get to know that whether your graph is dense or sparse, right? So you will get to know by the degree distributions, you will get to know about the graphs as well. So these are degree distributions, right? Next measure is density. When we talk about density, so what is the density? Is the fractions of all the edges in the network. All the edges in network. That is your density, right? So how to calculate for the undirected graph? If your graph is undirected, so you can see that 2 by L n into n minus 1, right? And for directed graph, your density will be L divided by n minus 1. For example, you have a proteins and protein network, and you have node 100, and these nodes are connected with each other by 200 edges. So how you can calculate the density? You can calculate simply the density for if your graph is undirected. So what will be 2 divided by link edges are 200 divided by your n is your node 100 multiplied by 99. So that will becomes your density. Your density is higher, that means your graph is dense graph, right? If your density is less, that means your graph is sparse. Your nodes are not connected so densely with each other. So you can calculate it, right? If your graph is directed one, so your these links that are edges, then it will become 200 divided by 100 multiplied by 99. So you can calculate the density of the graph, right? And by the density you will get to know about your networks well. This is another parameters that is the with respect to network, that is the density, and another parameters, that is the clustering coefficients. Clustering coefficients. Clustering coefficient is what? Clustering coefficient is, measure of uh, uh, connections of connections of neighbor neighbors nodes to each others clustering coefficients. If you have a clustering coefficients close to 1, that means your graph is very dense, and if it's 0, that means that is not the dense graph. So how, for example, to better understanding, for example, this is your network, simple network. A, B and B is connected with C, C is connected with D, like this, for examples, right? So if you ask me what is the clustering coefficients of node A, clustering coefficients of node A is 0. Why it's 0? Clustering coefficients of B is also 0, C is also 0, D is also 0. Why? Now you look for the definitions of the clustering coefficient. What is clustering coefficient? Clustering coefficient is connections of neighboring node to each other. So to A, which one is neighbor? Neighbor is B and neighbor is D. So whether B and D are connected to each other? No, they are not connected to each other. So your clustering coefficient is 0. Now comes to B. B neighbors are which one? Which nodes are neighbors of D? C and A. Whether these neighbors are connected to each other, A and C is connected to each other? No. So your clustering coefficient is 0. C, whether C is connected, C neighbor is B and D. Whether B and D is connected with each other? No. So clustering coefficient is 0. D neighbors are A and C. Whether A and C are connected with each other? No. So your clustering coefficient is 0. So that is one of the very important measures when we talk about network, right? Clustering coefficients, which tell you about how your nodes are connected with each other, how your neighbors are connected with each other, right? So you can derive various informations from this. And another parameters, that is your diameters. Diameters is something which is the length of the shortest path. Length of shortest path between two nodes. Right? What is diameter? Diameter is the length of the shortest path between two nodes. So better understanding. So let me draw the simple network. A is connected with B, B is connected with C, C is connected with D. For example, this is your very simple network. So what is the diameter? Diameter is, if you want to see A and D, right? So to reach A to D, you have to take one step, second step, three steps. So you are three steps away to reach from A to D, right? So diameter is 3, right? If you want to calculate up to C, then your diameter is, you have to take only 2 steps to reach the C. So that is your diameters. If we talk about, for example, this is your network, uh, okay, A, B, C, D. So now if I ask what is the diameter of A, means A to B, B to C, C to D. So you have to take only one step to reach the B. You have to take 2 steps to reach the C. You have to take only one step to reach the D. You have to take 2 steps to reach the C. And that is your diameters, right? That is the length of your shortest path between the two nodes, right? So this is about your network properties which we have discussed so far. So what we have discussed so far in network properties, one is degree distributions, right? Then we have discussed about density of the graph. Then we have discussed about clustering coefficients. clustering coefficients, and then we have discussed about diameters, then we have discussed about shortest path, right? Now next is your centrality measures for the network, that we will discuss in the next videos, but in this videos we have discussed all these parameters. And whenever you will do the graph by using you can use the Python's netx is the one of the modules, you can use the R package as well, and you can calculate all these parameters. So thank you. Next video we will discuss about centrality measures of the networks. Thank you.